On April 22, 2025, the peaceful meadows of Baisaran Valley near Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir were shattered by a horrifying act of terror. A group of 5 armed militants ambushed a convoy of tourists, killing 26 people in cold blood. Among the dead, 25 Hindu pilgrims and a local Muslim pony handler who tried to shield them. The survivors shared horrifying details. The attackers demanded the tourists' religious identity. Those who identified as Hindus or failed to recite Islamic verses were executed on the spot. One Christian tourist from Madhya Pradesh was also killed after failing to recite the Kalima. This chilling attack was deliberate, religiously targeted and gruesomely public, sparking a national outcry. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi immediately cut short his overseas visit. A high-level emergency security meeting was convened in Delhi. The response was swift and resolute. India suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, downgraded diplomatic relations, and sealed border crossings. These were not just symbolic moves, they were strategic signals. In retaliation, Pakistan shut down its airspace to Indian aircraft and suspended visa services for Indian nationals, setting the tone for a serious escalation. On May 7, 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor, a multi-targeted military operation. 9 locations in Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir, including Bahawalpur, Muridke, and Muzaffarabad, were bombed. These sites were identified as safe havens for Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, the terror groups blamed for the Pahalgam massacre. Using Rafale jets, armed with Scalp missiles, loitering munitions, and indigenous ASM hammer bombs, India delivered a precise and powerful message. Pakistan reported 31 civilian casualties, though India maintained that only militant hubs were targeted. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif claimed Indian jets were shot down, but the Indian Ministry of Defense and PIB quickly debunked those claims as baseless, citing that the so-called evidence was lifted from unverified social media clips. The international community watched with growing alarm. The US President Donald Trump offered to mediate, referencing his rapport with both nations. The United Nations, European Union, and ASEAN called for restraint, urging the 2 nuclear-armed neighbors to de-escalate before the situation spiraled further. The next day, May 8, 2025, Pakistan retaliated. Air bases across Jammu, Srinagar, Pathankot, Jaisalmer, and Udhampur came under attack by Pakistani drones, missiles, and loitering munitions. The intention was clear: inflict damage, destabilize defenses, and send a counter-message. But Pakistan didn't expect what came next. India's multi-tiered air defense grid activated instantly. S-400 Sudarshan Chakra intercepted long-range threats across Jammu and Punjab. Barak 8, co-developed with Israel, provided critical medium-range interception up to 70 kilometers. Akash 1 and Akash 2, India's indigenous pride, covered short to medium-range threats with lethal precision. Integrated Air Defense Command ensured real-time coordination between radar, missile units, and intercept teams. Result? Not a single military base was hit. Every drone and missile was neutralized mid-air. In the aerial clash that followed, India shot down multiple Pakistani jets, including 1 US-origin F-16 and 2 Chinese-made JF-17s. A Pakistani pilot was captured alive after ejecting near Jaisalmer, Rajasthan. What followed was a devastating Indian retaliation. In a bold display of maritime dominance, the Indian Navy advanced its might into the northern Arabian Sea. The INS Vikrant carrier battle group, flanked by guided missile destroyers INS Chennai and INS Kolkata, positioned itself within striking range of Pakistan's strategic port city, Karachi. Though no missiles were officially launched, the movement was anything but routine. It served as a potent signal, a silent siege, projecting overwhelming firepower and readiness to strike if provoked further. While Indian media suggested the naval formation was battle-ready to neutralize key assets, Pakistan denied any active engagement or siege, calling it a mischaracterization. The maneuver echoed the psychological shockwaves of the 1971 naval operation. But this time, it was not about destruction. It was about deterrence through precision and presence. A modern-day shadow war at sea, fought not with explosions, but with strategic positioning and satellite eyes locked on every move. The strike echoed memories of the 1971 operation, but with far more advanced precision. Karachi's naval assets were paralyzed within minutes. Airstrikes on Lahore and Sialkot crippled air defense systems and ammo factories. Sialkot, known for manufacturing munitions, witnessed blackouts that lasted over 36 hours. Pakistan's cities went dark. Massive power blackouts hit Lahore, Karachi, and Sialkot, plunging millions into chaos and fear. Exams were cancelled, schools shut down, and airspace closed for 48 hours. Amid rising tensions, Pakistan's defense minister issued a chilling warning, hinting at the possibility of nuclear retaliation. "There is a clear and present threat," he said, escalating global fears. Yet India's measured tone and effective strikes sent a different message, firm but calculated. World leaders have now stepped in. The US President Donald Trump urged both nations to pull back from the brink. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres appealed for an immediate ceasefire. The G7 and OIC are reportedly planning emergency sessions to prevent further bloodshed. On May 9th, 2025, the conflict between India and Pakistan intensified further. India accused Pakistan of launching a fresh wave of drone strikes across northern India, targeting both civilian and military infrastructure in regions like Jammu and Punjab. In response, India intercepted hundreds of drones and conducted retaliatory strikes on Pakistani defense installations. Amidst these hostilities, misinformation spread rapidly on both sides, leading India to block thousands of social media accounts, including those of Pakistani figures and Indian journalists, to curb the dissemination of false information. Furthermore, India strongly condemned Pakistan for endangering civilian air traffic by using it as a shield during drone and missile attacks. Reports indicated that Pakistan kept its airspace open, allowing over 100 commercial flights to operate during active military operations, thereby risking the safety of civilian passengers. India's multi-layered air defense system demonstrated remarkable efficiency in countering Pakistan's aerial assaults. The S-400 Sudarshan Chakra system played a pivotal role in intercepting incoming missiles and drones, particularly over Jammu and Punjab. Additionally, the Barak 8 and Akash missile systems provided robust defense against various aerial threats. The integrated air defense grid ensured real-time threat assessment and coordinated responses across multiple regions. Despite Pakistan's aggressive offensive, India's defense systems effectively neutralized approximately 99% of the threats, highlighting the disparity in defense capabilities between the two nations. India accused Pakistan of endangering civilian lives by using commercial air traffic as a shield for military operations. Flight data revealed that between 8:30 p.m. on May 7th and midnight on May 8th, at least 104 commercial flights flew through Pakistani airspace, even as Pakistan launched a wave of drones and missiles targeting Indian territory. This tactic drew sharp criticism from India, which condemned Pakistan for compromising civilian safety and violating international norms. On May 10th, 2025, India and Pakistan agreed to an immediate ceasefire after days of escalating violence. The agreement was reportedly brokered through direct military communication between the two nations, although the United States also claimed a role in facilitating the truce. Despite the ceasefire, tensions remained high. India reported violations of the truce by Pakistan, including drone incursions and artillery fire in Jammu and Kashmir. In response, India issued warnings through military hotlines, asserting its readiness to retaliate if breaches continued. The situation along the border remained volatile, with both nations maintaining high alert levels. Civilians in affected areas faced disruptions, including blackouts and displacement, underscoring the fragile nature of the ceasefire. The conflict between India and Pakistan in April and May 2025 marked one of the most intense escalations in recent history. While the ceasefire brought a temporary halt to hostilities, underlying tensions persisted, highlighting the need for sustained diplomatic efforts to achieve lasting peace. Between April 22nd and May 10th, 2025, the subcontinent stood on the edge of war. What began as a horrific terror attack in Kashmir has now snowballed into one of the most dangerous military escalations in recent South Asian history. The world watches, breath held, as India and Pakistan, two nuclear-armed nations, walk a tightrope between retribution and resolution. Will diplomacy win, or will escalation continue? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe the Time Navigator for real-time updates and breakdowns on this ongoing story.